Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the swearing-in ceremony of Officers Jordan Englehart and Daniel Robinson. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize our mayor is in attendance and our prosecutor, John McColgan. Also, as we go into this, I want everybody to know there's a lot of hard work that goes into the process of hiring new officers. So I'd like to thank our Employee Services Department, Dennis Jordan. Is Beth here? Okay. Beth Church, also with Employee Services. And within our own department, we have Brian Rowell, who's put a lot of work into this, so thank you. This is a very exciting moment for all of us as Officers Jordan Englehart and Daniel Robinson embark on their career serving the citizens of Saginaw. For the citizens and all of us at the Saginaw Police Department, we are very excited that our department is growing and becoming stronger. Some may not be aware that within the past 20 years, the Saginaw Police Department shrunk from 155 officers to about 42 working officers last year. With the additions of Officers Englehart and Robinson to the ranks of the brave men and women serving the citizens of Saginaw, we now have 53 sworn officers on staff. Our staffing levels will soon rise to 57 sworn officers this coming spring with the graduation of another 4 candidates from the Delta College Police Academy. Our regrowth has only been possible through the support of the citizenry and the commitment of the city administration. That support has been earned by those officers in the back of the room. There's your future officers you'll be working with, who day after day have dedicated themselves to serving the Saginaw community with integrity, honesty, accountability, and respect. It is now your time to hold that torch high as you go forward to serve and protect this community. Before we have the actual swearing-in ceremony, or a part of the ceremony, I would like to invite our prosecutor, John McColgan, to come up and say a few words if you'd like.
It's an honor to be here today and congratulate you two on joining what I consider the most honorable profession there is. When I think about law enforcement, I think about the phrase that when everybody else is running away, you're running in. And for that, I have the utmost respect and admiration for what law enforcement does. Did my heart really well. Mayor, what was the thing at the Bancroft called? Was that Reinvent Saginaw, or what was it? We went to a great function at the Bancroft Hotel a year or so ago, and it was about all the good things that are going on in Saginaw. And as you know, as everybody knows, law enforcement isn't thought of in a great light everywhere. But at that time in Saginaw, law enforcement was called to the front of the room. And there was a lot of different state police, city police, all kinds of law enforcement there. And they received a standing ovation in Saginaw. There's a lot of bad stuff going on out there, but there's much more good going on here. We have great people in our law enforcement, and it's a joy to welcome 2 more great people to that family. And the only thing I'd say is, you know, there are going to be people out there who don't respect you. And the way that I have found to earn respect from someone who doesn't respect me is to just treat them how you want to be treated. If everybody in our town would treat others as they would like to be treated, we would solve a lot of problems. And I think that goes a long way in getting a mutual respect between people, and that's what we need to have our citizens help us solve crimes. So again, congratulations, welcome. Look forward to working with you.
And I spoke about carrying that torch high as you go forth on your careers. At this point, I would like to invite Mayor Browning to come forward. He's a former Saginaw police officer who carried that torch for 32 years.
Well, thank you, and it's with a great pleasure and honor to be here speaking to you. And who would have ever thought back in 1969 when I joined the police department that I'd be standing here as the mayor of the city of Saginaw, but I've been very honored and blessed to have that opportunity. I do want to talk to you today a number of things. Number one, and I tried to make some notes, but you're going to see me throwing this away in a few minutes anyways because I just keep my passion for the city of Saginaw is second to none. Second to none. City of Saginaw is my home. It's always been my home. I've raised my children here. We went to the schools here, and we continue to live here in the city of Saginaw. And that'll probably be my very last home. Will probably be here in the city of Saginaw. But I'm okay with that. Yes, I was a Saginaw police officer, and I look at you two gentlemen thinking, my gosh, look how young they look. And then I have to remind myself that I was actually 19 when I joined the Saginaw Police Department as a police cadet. And I had a great opportunity as a police cadet to work in all the divisions behind the scenes until I was sworn in 1970. And thank goodness those days are gone. I borrowed a shirt, by the way. I borrowed a patrolman's shirt so I could go to work that night. Yep, they put you right on the road. Recruit school wasn't for another two and a half months after I'd been on the road. Then we went to recruit school. So thank goodness some of those days are gone. And by the way, yes, we did have one little single light on top of the car, a little blue one. Yep. There was no radio in the car, AM or FM, or police radio. We had to put those in ourselves. And we had 2 channels. That was it. And no air conditioning. And by the way, there was no vest back then either. We didn't have vests. We didn't get vests until almost halfway through my career. So I'm glad those days are gone. And you are going to enter a time, this is your time. My time was a long time ago. I retired in 2000, so it's a long time ago. Now some will argue whether I was a real policeman or not. You see, because about halfway through my career, I became a crime prevention and community relations specialist. Oh, I worked patrol. And I rode the cycles and walked the beats downtown. Downtown at that time, when it was lunchtime, and some of our city employees still remember this, well, I had a choice of 11 different restaurants just downtown years ago. Now I think we have 3 or 4, but we're growing, and we're going to get larger and larger. So I worked all those divisions, but about halfway through my career, I became crime prevention, community relations. I became a school officer. Yeah, some of my fellow officers refer to us as diaper dicks, the detectives who handled all the juveniles, and that's really not police work. Some will argue that, and I differ. In fact, 2 days ago, I was flying back from vacation in Fort Worth, and my last flight from Chicago to Saginaw, I sat next to a young lady, probably in her mid-20s. And she looked at me, and I sat down and said, "Where'd you headed?" She said, "Bay City." I said, "Oh, so you're from Bay City?" No, she says, I was born and raised in Saginaw. I live in Bay City right now. She says, "But boy, you look awful familiar." And I said, "I do. Why is that?" She says, I just, were you at one time a policeman?" And I says, "I'm Officer Browning." She said, "I thought that was you." She says, "You made a big influence in my life years ago." She says, "You were my dare officer." And I reminded her that was 5th grade. And to this day, she remembers that. So it's not the arresting the person for homicide. It's the individual contact that you have with our citizens, and I really have to stress that. Now, as a school officer, though, you still always have to be on guard. And I've been there. I was asked to assist early in the morning on an eviction. I had 25 years on and said, "Can you assist us with a simple eviction over on Wadsworth Street? We're short." I say, I don't have class till 9 o'clock. Sure, I'll stop over there. Well, that eviction ended up taking 3 days, and 3 of us officers were shot and wounded during that. In my 25th year, I'm at a time in my career where I only work in the schools. But you always have to be on guard. And I'll tell you, yes, I did put my vest on. Yes, we did everything we were supposed to do. Everything that we were trained on kicked right in. It kicked in automatically. And that's the advantage you have. You are always on guard. You are always in control. And that's very important for that. Now, I hate to share that with family members here. You think, oh my gosh, what's going on now? But I'd be fooling you if I told you they were not in situations that are going to be dangerous. They certainly are. I felt bad because my brother was, the year I was sworn in law enforcement, my brother was drafted and went to Vietnam. I thought, that's just not fair. I mean, here I am. I was deferred because I was on the police department, and my younger brother spends a couple years in Vietnam, and he did just fine, and he come home. Little did we know that 20-some years later, I'd be in almost the same situation that he was. So you need to protect yourself. I got a couple things, though, I really want to go with you. Number one, you need to be safe. You need to be safe. Your goal at the end of the day is you need to go home. That's your goal. Number one goal. Are you going to put yourself in danger? Absolutely. I'd be wasting my breath if I told you not to. Yes. But you do everything you can. We need you to go home at the end of the day. That's very important. You need to talk to your family. If they have questions, you need to let them know how you feel and what's going on, because they're a part of this. Your family is a big part of this, and I want you to keep them a big part of that. Don't put yourself above the law. No, we're not above the law. One of my high school buddies, he wrestled on the high school team with me, became one of our police officers, and then he went to prison because he thought he was above the law. And we're not above the law. We only represent it. Treat people, and our prosecutor said this, treat people with respect. I'm going to tell you, my goal for you is to get out of that car. If you aren't answering calls and if you're just patrolling the neighborhoods, get out of your car and meet people. Introduce yourself. Let them know that you're a new officer, that you're with us, but I want you to meet the people on both sides of this river. If you're driving around this summer, and I know it's hot and you got your windows up, but if you see people out in their yard doing some just normal things, go ahead and stop. Stop and greet them. Get to know them people, because I want them to know who you are. They need to know who you are as a person. As a person. And the chief will tell you there's a couple things that I have a pet peeve about, and I was a former police officer. It bothers. I'll tell you what sometimes bothers me. Well, never mind. It bothers me all the time. It bothers me when I go to bring her in at 7:30 in the morning, and there's 4 police officers sitting there having breakfast at 7:30 in the morning. Now, I understand. If one of them has sergeant stripes and he invited you there, you need to go. But that bothers me. Why does that bother me? Because I know how many officers are patrolling that particular day. I know there's only 6 officers assigned to the street, and 4 of them are having breakfast. The first thing they do when they start their shift. That bothers me. Be careful, because you are in the public's view. You are in the public's eye all the time. And we have a special police millage that we have to renew every year. And when it comes time for that renewal, I do not want our citizens saying, well, I'm not going to renew that because all they do is sit over there anyways. They sat there and they had breakfast and then turn in an overtime slip because they didn't have time to have lunch. But you see, as a former officer, that concerns me. So be careful with that. You're always in the public's eye. I'm not telling you not to go in there. I'm just simply saying wherever you go, be careful. You are in the public's view. And greet those people who are there. No matter where you are, greet those people. And be approachable. I want you to be approachable to these people. They need to feel that they can approach you and talk to you no matter what it is. They can approach you and talk to you. You'll have great success in coming up through the ranks. And hopefully there'll be a day when you have that same opportunity that I had, is to say, enough is enough. I need to retire. And I never planned on being a Saginaw police officer. That was never my desire. I simply added or answered an ad in the paper. But boy, it soon got into my blood. And law enforcement's in your blood. I'm telling you right now, it's in your blood. And so we're really, really very pleased to have you. Jordan, I'm glad you've turned in that ugly brown that the other departments wear. Glad you got the blue on now. This is very good. And Daniel, welcome. This is the first department that you're going to be working for. And I hope that it becomes a real career to you. Because I'm telling you, there's 51,000 people in this city. When I was sworn in, we had 92,000 people. I was number 214 on the department. And you see what our ranks are now. But we have a great partnership with the state police and the other law enforcement agencies around this community. You'll be working with partnership with them. You're going to be responding to calls, and we never had that opportunity years ago where multiple agencies are responding, but they're going to be responding right along with you on those serious calls. Those are your partners, and they got your back, and you have their back out there. So congratulations to both of you. We're really looking forward to your careers here on the department, and it's about time we get you sworn in so we can start paying you as a police officer. That'd be good. Thank you very much. And family members, I really want to take, when this is all over, I really want to meet you and get a chance to greet each and one of you. So I'd like to do that. So at this time, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and let's get them sworn in.
Thank you, Mayor. Somebody here is in trouble, and that's me. I didn't introduce myself before I started. I'm Lieutenant Konjorski. Chief Bob Ruth really wanted to be here today, but unfortunately he was out of town, so he couldn't make it. All right, let's introduce them. Officer Engelhardt, would you please step forward? And Officer Robinson, would you please step forward? Jordan, would you kind of squat down a little bit so I feel better? Officer Engelhardt graduated from Heritage High School in 2009. He then attended Saginaw Valley State University and graduated with his bachelor's degree in May of 2014. Simultaneously, he attended the Delta College Police Academy, also graduating in May of 2014. Officer Engelhardt has previous law enforcement experience with the Berrien County Sheriff's Department and Watervliet Police Department. A sign that he has excellent decision-making capabilities, I want you to know he chose to complete his internship here with the Saginaw Police Department. Officer Engelhardt is accompanied by his parents, Mark and Donna Engelhardt. Officer Daniel Robinson graduated from Brighton High School in 2010. He graduated from Washtenaw Community College in 2012, and then Grand Valley State University in 2014. He just recently graduated from the Washtenaw Police Academy this past December. While attending Grand Valley State University, Officer Robinson volunteered with the Grand Valley State University Student PALS program, mentoring children who come from broken homes. Officer Robinson is accompanied by his mother, Michelle Robinson, his sister, Jessica Hamilton, brother-in-law, John Hamilton, and his grandmother, Marie Robinson. Officer Robinson's late father, Thomas Robinson, was a retired City of Detroit firefighter. At this point, I'd like to ask our City Clerk, Janet Santos, to come up and administer the oath of office. All right, to pin their badges on, would Donna Englehart, mother of Officer Englehart, please step forward. And Michelle Robinson, mother of Officer Robinson, please step forward. Do you have your badges, guys? Go ahead, please. Please, yes. Take some pictures at this time. Everybody have their pictures? All right, thank you. Jordan, would you like to say a few words?
Sorry, I don't have anything prepared. Just want to take the time to thank everyone for coming, not only my family, but Officer Robinson's family, colleagues in the back, everyone from the city of Saginaw. I appreciate everyone coming here. It means a lot. I look forward to starting working here, and hopefully I can show everyone that I want to be part of this community. Thank you.
Daniel?
Just want to thank everyone for coming here. It means a lot to me. I want to thank my family for always being there, always having my back. I know you're there, and I'll be there to talk to you and everything. Just thank everyone being here. I'm excited to start my career here, and I'm excited to be part of the community. Thank you, guys.
I want everybody to know, beginning earlier today, they began their 2-week orientation program with the city. After they complete the 2-week orientation program, they will be having a 16-week field training officer program that they will complete before they are on patrol on their own. So I want to say congratulations to you and thank all of you for attending. And please, afterward, we have some snacks and some coffee over here. So please stay, take some pictures, and we're glad to have you part of our family as well.